Tenny presents The Invisible Man by H.G. Wells. In the dead of winter, a stranger arrives in the sleepy village of Iping, his entire body concealed by clothes, bandages, and dark blue goggles. He seeks only solitude, but his bizarre, faceless appearance and irritable temper soon make him the subject of fearful gossip. The villagers whisper and wonder, what kind of man hides every inch of his skin? But the truth is far more terrifying than they can imagine. The true horror isn't what's under the bandages, but what isn't. They've given a room to a man who, for all intents and purposes, simply isn't there. Now, the story itself. The strangers stay at the coach, and Horses was marked by peculiarity. He spent his days in his room, surrounded by bottles and strange scientific apparatus, his temper frayed with every interruption.
Sir, your lunch. And I must insist on the rent. It is overdue.
Leave it, and leave me alone. Can a man not have his privacy?
The final straw came after a strange burglary at the vicarage. Money was stolen, yet no doors or windows were forced. Suspicion immediately fell on the secretive guest. Mrs. Hall, armed with a new resolve, confronted him.
I want to know what you've been doing. My chairs don't move on their own. And I want to know why you're covered up.
You want to see? You really want to see?
He tore at the bandages around his head. He pulled off the false nose, the whiskers, the goggles.
There! Is that enough for you?
Mrs. Hall screamed. For in the center of the bandages, where a face should have been, there was only a hollow, an empty space. He was a man without a head.
Now you know.
Then he began to unbutton his coat. The clothes, seemingly empty, fell to the floor. Panic erupted in the inn. The invisible man was loose. Invisible, naked, and freezing in the English countryside. The stranger, whose name was Griffin, needed an accomplice. He found one in the form of Thomas Marvel, a lonely tramp.
Who's there? Show yourself.
I am here, right behind you. Don't try to run, Marvel. You can't escape me.
But, there's no one there. It's a voice, a ghost.
I am not a ghost. I am invisible. And you, my little fat friend, are going to help me.
Under constant threat, Marvel was forced to carry Griffin's money and help him retrieve the crucial scientific notebooks he had left behind.
I can't do it. They'll catch me. They'll think I'm the thief.
They will think you are mad, perhaps, but you will do as I say, or I will break your neck with my unseen hands.
To the people of the next village, Marvel was a bizarre sight. A man arguing with thin air, while money floated from pockets and doors opened on their own. Marvel's terror grew with each passing hour, and he desperately sought a way to escape his unseen tormentor. Fleeing the chaos, Griffin made his way to the town of Burdock. There he sought refuge with a man from his past, a fellow medical student named Dr. Kemp.
Who is it? What do you want?
Let me in, Kemp, and don't be alarmed.
Who is that? I know that voice. Griffin, is that you? But you're dead.
I am very much alive, and I am invisible.
Inside Kemp's study, the invisible man, exhausted and wounded from his flight, finally confessed his story.
It began with light, Kemp. A simple question. How to lower the refractive index of a substance to that of air.
He told of his obsessive research, stealing money from his own father to fund his experiments.
I made a discovery of a lifetime. I found a way to make tissue, living tissue, invisible. I tried it on a cat first. It vanished. And then I tried it on myself. The pain was like 1,000 burning knives. I watched my own flesh and bone fade away until I was nothing but a phantom, a voice in a room.
Kemp listened, a mixture of scientific awe and growing dread.
Incredible. But Griffin, how do you reverse it?
That, Kemp, that is the problem. I cannot, not yet.
As Griffin rested, his words turned from scientific discovery to something far darker. His isolation had twisted his mind, breeding a profound and venomous hatred for a world that could see him no more.
They see me as a monster, a bogeyman. The fools in Iping, they hounded me. They deserve to be punished.
Griffin, this is madness. You are trespassing, frightening people.
Frightening them? Good. Fear is a tool, Kemp, and I am the ultimate tool. We must start a new age, the epoch of the invisible man.
He laid out his plan with chilling clarity.
I will establish a reign of terror. I can walk into any house, any bank, any council chamber. I can kill, and no one will see the killer. You, Kemp, will be my visible partner. My anchor to the world.
In that moment, Dr. Kemp understood. This was not the brilliant student he once knew. This was a dangerous, homicidal megalomaniac.
It is a bold plan, Griffin. Let me think on it. You should rest.
But as Griffin slept, Kemp penned a desperate note. A note to the police. He had to stop his friend before the reign of terror could begin. Griffin was no fool. He sensed the shift in Kemp's demeanor and heard the arrival of the police.
Traitor, you betrayed me, Kemp.
He smashed his way out of the house, an unseen force of pure rage. The hunt was on. But the hunter was also the hunted.
You think you can catch me? I am everywhere and nowhere. This town will pay for your betrayal, Kemp. I will start with you. I will kill you.
The town of Burdock was plunged into a nightmare. An unseen menace stalked the streets, breaking windows, terrorizing citizens, and striking down those who got in his way. Kemp, now working with the police, became the public face of the hunt.
He is just a man. A vulnerable, naked man. Use dogs. Spread powdered glass on the roads. We must trap him.
But Griffin, driven by vengeance, was always one step ahead. His single-minded goal was the death of the man who had been his last hope, and his final betrayer. The siege of Burdock reached its climax. Griffin, desperate and exhausted, finally made his move on Kemp's house. But Kemp had laid a trap. The entire neighborhood was alerted.
He's here. He's here now. Surround the house.
Griffin was cornered, chased through the streets by a mob no longer fearful, but filled with a vengeful rage of their own. A workman, wielding a spade, struck blindly at the air where he heard the struggle. The invisible man fell. The mob descended upon the unseen form, beating and kicking at the empty space on the ground.
Stop. For God's sake, stop. He is dead.
As the crowd fell silent, a strange and terrible miracle occurred. Lying on the muddy ground, a form began to appear. First a hazy network of nerves and arteries, then the solidifying shapes of bone and muscle. The invisibility receded in death. And there, beaten and broken in the street, lay the visible body of Griffin, an albino man, no older than 30, his face a tragic mask of fury and pain. The great and terrible invisible man was, in the end, just a man after all. Next time on Tenny presents The Legend of Sleepy Hollow by Washington Irving. We have just witnessed a terror born from science, a horror of flesh and blood made monstrous by ambition. But what happens when the terror is not of our world? When it comes not from a laboratory, but from a fireside legend? Join Washington Irving next time as we leave the streets of England for the misty, haunted valleys of Sleepy Hollow, where a different kind of phantom awaits, a horseman without a head.